Hey my good friend, Sam Haymart for TestDrivenTV. You know, every year the auto channels and the magazines, they come out with their top 10s or their best or their car of the year. Here at TestDrivenTV, we have the I'd buy it list. These are cars I like so much, I'd spend my own money on them. So that list, that's what's coming up. Alright my friends, before we get started, I do want to explain how a car makes it to the I'd buy it list, because there might be a lot of obvious choices out there and you might say, why isn't that on the I'd buy it list? The main qualifier is that cars on the I'd buy it list are cars that I've tested for an entire week. Thus, I've really learned what it's like to live with them, the good points, the bad points. And the other thing you might ask is, well, why aren't all these cars 5-star cars on your test drive reviews? Well, just like you when you buy a car, sometimes you'll fall in love with a car, you like certain things about it. It might not be perfect, but you take the good with the bad if you like a car enough. So without further ado, let's get started. The first car on the list by alphabetical order is the Acura RDX. The very first from the brand to make it to my list, the Acura RDX Advanced All-Wheel Drive won me over with an uncommon level of refinement, driving enjoyment, and top-notch quality in its class. One of the few contestants still offering a V6, it has a wonderful sound to go with its precise and well-balanced 6-speed automatic transmission. From behind the wheel, you'll enjoy one of the best interiors in the business when it comes to fit and finish, comfort and convenience, as well as ergonomic design. One of the highlights is its well-conceived dual-screen infotainment and driver interface. Next vehicle on the list is the 2017 Audi Q7 3.0T Quattro. Completely new for this year, the Audi Q7 arrived with a lighter yet stiffer body structure made both of aluminum and high-strength steel. It has all new techno goodies inside, a 333 horsepower supercharged V6 under its hood, and the capability of the brand's Quattro all-wheel drive system. Knocking my socks off was the overall combination of a consistent feel of quality for the money, both inside and out. The leather and wood interior is an amazing place to sit while your fingertips adjust its air suspension on the go. Use the MMI infotainment system and drive flat out on or off the pavement. The next car is the new generation Chevrolet Camaro. The all-new Camaro landed on my list with none other than the mid-grade 3.6-liter V6 under the hood with a mid-level trim grade. Woo, that's 7,000 RPM, baby. Woo-wee! That is quite some sound. And it just loves it. It loves this stuff, man. How many V6s out there can you say just love to be throttled like this? Imagine what I would have thought about one of the available V8s or the high-performance trim grades. Winning my love was the new chassis that's sharper and lighter on its feet than before, not to mention its competitors from Ford and Dodge. The new design is crisper, wrapped around a car that's so much fun to wring out on the back roads over and over. Next up is the Chevrolet Colorado and the GMC Canyon Durallax, the new baby diesel, and it's not the first time it's made it to this list. Having made it to my list in 2014, the diesel-powered Chevrolet Colorado and GMC Canyon midsize pickups are once again a favorite pick. Though the Toyota Tacoma is a bestseller in the class, the GM midsize trucks simply offer more. They're roomier, they feel better, and with the 2.8-liter Duramax 4-cylinder turbo diesel, they offer the best powertrain of them all when it comes to torque and towing. And then there's the fuel economy argument. They're a joy to drive, and while premium in price, will command all the resale value over their gasoline-powered brethren. Next on the list is the 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, the first minivan ever to make my I'd buy it list. The all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica is a home run crack out of the park on all fronts. The new design and chassis make for something fresh all on their own, but the everyday driving experience and the versatility of its interior won me over huge. And I'm not really a minivan buyer. With a stow-and-go seating that disappears into the floor with a few clicks, a newfound level of build quality and good driving dynamics, it now has what it takes to play against the Honda Odyssey and the Toyota Sienna with some credibility. Power from its 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 is a smile-inducing experience, and now you can get a plug-in hybrid version too. And then there was the Dodge Charger RT Scat Pack. That was a lot of fun. So the question always becomes in a car like this, how does it go? Woo!
is ticket material all day long. It's loud, it's gnarly, it's nasty, and it will flat light the tires up to the point you have to lift off or go straight in the ditch. And I love it. I love a car like this. What can I say?
You know, sometimes something old along with something new is a winning combination. The Dodge Charger is all of that, regardless of which engine you choose, from the base V6 all the way up to the 707 horsepower Hellcat V8. Oh my God! The one I tested this year was the still bonkers 6.4 liter RT Scat Pack, loving its combination of plain wrapper equipment levels with near top level performance with that V8. The ability to unleash this much anger and resentment at the drop of your right foot for about $40,000 is something everyone should have. Next up, from the same company almost, the Fiat 500c Abarth. Opposite the Dodge Charger, but still in the same mental state, the Fiat 500 and 500c Abarth is an angry rat unleashed with its rat-crackling exhaust note and pocket rocket flare. One of the smallest cars you can buy, it's quick and fun and cute as hell. While I choose a manual, the one I tested came with a reasonably well-done sport-shifting automatic transmission that didn't kill the fun at all. Roll back the canvas top, find your favorite back road, and turn off the radio so you can hear it snarl. Next up, a little bit different, the Kia Sportage. All new this year, the Kia Sportage impressed me with its ever-rising level of consistent build quality, handling poise, and overall good vibes. Design is contemporary inside and out, comfort exceptional, and creature comforts on an entirely new level. With the power of its optional turbocharged engine, the Sportage offers several options and comforts many in its class don't even touch. While it is heavy, it remains well poised and fun to drive around town, but most important, on the back road, going to your favorite getaway. Pulling a hat trick, returning for the third year in a row, is the Lexus IS line of sedans. The Lexus IS line has become like that bed of perennials you look forward to blooming each spring. Making it onto my list for the third year in a row, the IS 200T I tested this year impressed with its 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder base engine. It's not as fast as the 3.5-liter V6 on the IS 350, but no disappointment for the entry point. The IS is sharper in its styling than the Germans in my opinion, just as sharp and refined on the back road, and has arguably better build quality and reliability. It's priced at a bargain by comparison to its peers too, yet has an interior that's likely best in class. Next up, the Nissan Titan XD Cummins. I mean, I need a pickup truck, right? Making it to the list for the second year in a row, Nissan clearly has a winner with their Cummins diesel-powered super half-ton Titan XD. The 310 horsepower and 555 pound-feet of torque, the V8 diesel brings something entirely fresh to the full-size pickup. This year, additional cabs and configurations are available in the Titan XD, which has gotten off to an arguably slow sales start. I like it, however, for its well-thought-out interior, quality build construction, tight handling, and gobs of torque that diesel offers. Speaking of diesels, the next vehicle on the list is the Range Rover Sport TD6. Sort of crawling along like this diesel does a nice job of just keeping you going slow. So here we go through the mud. And that wasn't too challenging, but you could feel it adjusting the traction just a little bit to get us through there. When it comes to luxury brands, comparing apples to apples against competitors becomes less a factor than simply, wow, I love it. That's the case with the near $100,000 Range Rover Sport TD6 I tested this year, with its dual personality of silk purse luxury and turbo diesel grunt. With rich slabs of leather and genuine wood inside, a myriad of techno goodies like fully adjustable air suspension, it was simply a pleasure to sink your toes into. And sinking your right toes into its generous and smooth turbo diesel torque was seductive to say the least. I like it enough to buy it, obviously. Next up is the Subaru Outback, the 2.5. Now, I've never been a Subaru guy, but I finally get it. The first ever Subaru to make it to my list, the Outback wagon is almost a modern-day cult classic. It sells well, but to a very narrow audience of highly loyal owners and enthusiasts. While it's far from exciting, its combination of rugged backpack usefulness and solid quality are hard to argue with. Even our base engine tester won my heart, particularly on the back roads where it goes just about anywhere like a mountain goat. With all the room you could ever want for your gear like an SUV would offer, the Outback rewards your choice with a far more car-like level of handling, maneuverability, and fuel economy. Next up is the Toyota Land Cruiser, and speaking of going anywhere, the Toyota Land Cruiser is what many people call too old, too expensive, and too nice to take off-road. No, no, no. I mean, yes, but no. It's the fact that it's old school, truck-like, and rare that makes it so alluring. The Land Cruiser remains one of the last vestiges of true off-road capability and ruggedness you can buy at any price in the luxury utility world. For 2017, it got updates that make the interior nicer and more modern to help you swallow the $85,000 price tag. It is indeed expensive, but where else are you going to go? And speaking of where else are you going to go, next up is the Volkswagen Beetle R-Line convertible. Likely in its last years of production, the current generation Volkswagen Beetle is a car that stirs love in my heart every time I get behind the wheel. Its funky vibe and styling puts a smile on my face at first sight, and luckily its chassis and powertrain keep me happy. The R-Line tester I had came with a more powerful 2-liter turbocharged engine, but even with the base 1.8 turbo, it has plenty of fun. Bottom line? With the Beetle, you get old school style and character with the comfort, driving prowess, and safety of the new school. Last on the list is the Volkswagen Golf family, now this year joined by the new Golf All-Track. The Volkswagen Golf family makes it back to my list for the second year in a row, now joined this fall by the new off-road oriented all-track version of the Golf Sport Wagon. It adds a new dimension to the many choices of a Golf and adds a dose of backcountry capability with its 4-motion all-wheel drive. All Volkswagen Golf models offer up the same recipe of German driving enjoyment that you get with their sharp handling, the comfortable seats, and a high level of refinement. An all-new MIB2 infotainment system is available this year too that's far and above better than the one it replaces. Only one powertrain is available now, however, a 170 horsepower 1.8-liter turbocharged engine, unless you step up to the GTI or the Golf R. Depending on the Golf you do buy, you can get a 6-speed manual, a 6-speed automatic, or a 6-speed DSG dual-clutch transmission. The TDI clean diesel is long gone and sadly isn't coming back. Alright my friends, that was a pretty lengthy list. 16 vehicles out of some 100 vehicles that were eligible this year that I tested, and I tested more after that, just not for the full-blown test. That said, if you want to see the individual test drives, click right there. That'll take you to our I'd Buy It list playlist. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I test drive 1 or 2 new vehicles a week, plus we have a new video almost every other day. There's always something new. So stay tuned.